We have some midweek Cup and Premier League action to recap, as well as a couple of top-of-the-table matchups in Serie A.
Bundesliga might not be the runaway that it was just a month ago, but in La Liga, the race for the top spot couldn't get any closer. All of this and more on this episode 115 of the No Business Soccer Podcast. Hey, Snooze, kick us off.
Let's dig in. Hey, let's do it. Welcome to the No Business Soccer Podcast. I'm your host, Snooze, and we got the full fam here today. Brainiac J fam hanging out in the back. Danny P on the ones and twos. And of course, hype man Vic. What you sipping on, dog?
Well, I got a little inspiration. I got all my Austin FC stuff on, and I was like, I saw this bottle up there, and I was like, of course we're going to drink it. This is the John J. Bowman single barrel, and it's all green. Like, pretty much what I'm wearing. But hey. It feels good to match. I don't know what it is. I need to do this more often, but this is just your quintessential bourbon. There's no stewed cherries. There's some light cherry on there, but it's more sweet, kind of like grapey and stuff. It's absolutely amazing. And while I take a sip, go ahead and like and subscribe. It's the best way to tell YouTube, Spotify, whatever you're listening on. Hey, maybe these guys are pretty cool to talk to every once in a while. So cheers, everyone.
Bam. And it is Thursday.
Garrison Brothers Glencairn, too, by the way.
Glencairn?
Glencairn. Yeah, that's what the glass is called.
Sounds very Scottish. Sounds Scottish.
Scottish.
Well, either way, today is, I said Thursday, but it's Friday for you as you're listening to this. And we have a weekend look ahead. So we're going to be looking forward to all the matchups this weekend. Of course, that's Serie A, Bundesliga, and La Liga. There are some FA Cup matchups as well, but there's a lot of cup matchups that we don't cover. We're going to talk about a little bit because there was a lot of midweek stuff, and we'll touch on the Premier League action that happened in the midweek as well, as I talked about in the intro. Vic, we have a lot to go over, but I have to address something first because it made me think of you. If you remember, we have a little short out too, where you called me your pretentious friend or whatever, and yes. We have a mutual friend named Ray. I've talked about him a couple times on here. And Ray was telling me that he's been listening to a new band, and he really likes this band. And he said, I really like this band called Bon Iver, and they have a good album out. And I was like, I could have let that slip, but it was hurting my ears. I was like, yo, I don't mean to be that guy, but like, it's Bon Iver. And he's like, what are you talking about? Why would it be like French? I'm like, I don't know. I know it's Bon Iver. Oh. And so he made me Google it. And the first video that popped up was a TikTok of a guy, like a situation exactly like ours, except the dude responding was like, stop being a pretentious prick. Who cares? And instantly I thought like, damn, I'm not helping myself at that cause, but it's not me. I mean, because I don't want my guy to be walking around with Bon Iver in his head, conversations about Bon Iver. Sorry.
Bon Iver, yeah.
It's Bon Iver. Anyway, yeah, he can't be talking about Bon Iver in public. I mean, that'd be rude. Anyway, that happened in real life, and I was just sitting there laughing like, I can't believe that I think this is the one time that I'm that friend. It usually isn't like that. Okay. So anyway, I could have not said that too, but I just felt like I had to let you know because it was hilarious.
I feel that's a little bit more like, that's okay. You could do that. I'm like, hey, come on. I'll make you look a little bit better. It's not terrible.
I know Danny P listens to Bon Iver. So if someone came up to him and said Bon Iver, he would definitely be like, oh, no. It's just, public service. Just like when people say espresso, it's like, oh, like I know it's not, there's no X in there. You gotta cut that out. I can't think of any other ones, but my wife does them all the time. She calls them egg-corns and, like all kinds of stuff. So
acorns.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's like, what the hell is that? Okay, acorn.
Eggcorn. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what I always say. I'm like, egg corn? What? Anyway. Okay. Let's jump into it. We've talked enough. We're in our Austin FC stuff. Any news that we're going to
I noticed that you are also wearing Austin FC. There's no Austin FC. They're playing at the Coachella Invitational. Nothing yet. We're good. Right now.
Okay. Well, then let's move on. Let's go to Italy.
Let's do it to Serie A.
And news and notes around Serie A. We did have some quarterfinal matchups in the Coppa Italia take place this midweek, and it was Como who moved on to the semis after beating Napoli on penalties, and they will take on Inter at the end of March, while Lazio also move on by beating Bologna on penalties, and Lazio will get Atalanta in the semis. So we have Como Inter and Lazio Atalanta, and those will be happening at the end of March. Good stuff, good games. I mean, they're both 1-1 draws until the penalties, so it is what it is. But I will say, it's not good for Bologna. Even if it was a cup match they lost on penalties, they just keep on losing. They need to get better at this. So with that said, let's see what their matchup is this week, Vic, and let's move on.
Well, let's do it. And we will start with your No Business Soccer podcast. Top matches and headlines for Serie A Matchday 25. And your first match is a top 4 matchup as your current league leaders Inter look to make it 6 wins straight against number 4 Juve.
Inter have been on fire, and they get Juve at the San Siro at what would appear to be the right time for them to continue their streak. But Juve have definitely started to pick up steam under Spalletti. And yes, they didn't get the win over Lazio last weekend, but they went down 2-0 after playing very well, and they had to come all the way back to split the points. Overall, I think this is Inter. It's an Inter side that is just too damn good to be denied right now. But Juve have to do this for the mutual, because in just a few match days, Vic, after this derby, there's a Derby della Madonnina, which is the Milan derby, and it would be a much more intense one if it was an actual chance that 2-1 is in that matchup, and it could be for a Scudetto. That would be an amazing, amazing setup. So for the mutual, and I mean, just for like the sake of the table, go Juve.
Let's do it. And your second match has Champions League placement implications as number 5 Roma go on the road against number 3 Napoli.
Napoli are another team hoping that Juve could do them a favor this weekend. After coming back to get the win over Genoa, it feels like Napoli are shorthanded as they are tough enough to be able to withstand all the injuries they have. But the defending champs are coming into this game with a full 9 points off Inter, and Roma are no easy matchup. We saw the reverse leg of this only just back in November. Let's see if I have the date here. November 30th, and it was 1-0 away for Napoli, a 1-0 away win for Napoli. The big caveat to that win is that it was before the January transfer window, obviously. So Daniel Malin hadn't started, or he hadn't joined Roma yet, and he could be the big difference in this match, as he scored 3 goals in his first 4 matches for Roma. And this one will be a big test for Napoli. I don't know who I'm going for, Vic, but I don't even want to call it. I'm going to sit down and watch. A mutual fan. How about that?
I like it. Yeah, don't doom any of their supporters by going.
Why
yeah.
do that?
But those are your top matches and headlines for Serie A Matchday 25. Let's jump into the rest of the match day. And it starts on Friday as Pisa continue to try and fight out of relegation. But with number 2 Milan coming to town, their fate might be sealed.
Milan should be well rested after their match with Como was rescheduled due to the Olympics. If you remember, it was the whole Perth debacle they were supposed to go over, and they ended up not going to Australia, and then it had to be rescheduled because of the Olympics. It's a big thing. Either way, they are well rested because they did not have to play. So a visit to Pisa to take on a team that's second bottom and on the way out of Serie A, it appears, is not a bad way to start the weekend for Milan.
We then move to Saturday, and this also starts with another relegation-threatened team in Fiorentina looking to get back into the win column as they head to Como.
For some reason, I don't like that you said that, but fresh off beating Napoli in the Coppa Italia to make the semis, Como welcome our Viola, and it's starting to get to must-win territory for Fiorentina, or at least must not lose territory, if that makes sense. Them being 18th in the table and a full 3 points behind the Milkmen, they absolutely need every point they can get.
Next up should be a fun one. It's number 8 Lazio welcoming number 7 Atalanta.
Table neighbors go at it in the battle to get the European spots, and both squads have had mixed results recently, but Lazio showed growth in their game against Juve, and Atalanta beat Juve in the Coppa Italia and then just beat Cremonese last weekend. And it's not like our Lazio have had a very big home field advantage, so this one is really a toss-up. Atalanta just seem a little stronger at the moment.
And then Saturday ends with your No Business Soccer podcast top match of the week. That was Inter and Juve. We talked about that. So we go on to Sunday. And it's a mid-table scrap as Udinese welcome Sassuolo.
Udinese slipped up big time against Lecce, and now I don't know if I can trust them again to make it up past mid-table. They broke my heart one too many times, Vic. But with that, they should be able to take care of Sassuolo, who are essentially safe and playing on house money at this point. Maybe that means they're dangerous. Maybe that means they're not. Either way, I think Udinese can get the win.
Next up is Parma, wanting to keep the winning vibes going, and they have a good shot to do so as they take on bottom of the table, Verona.
Verona had a real crappy match against Pisa and pretty much cemented their relegation status. But Parma aren't far from the drop zone, so if Verona were to get a second shot at life, they would need to get a win here.
Next, we have another table neighbor scrap as number 16, Cremonese welcome number 15, Genoa.
And I don't know where my notes are for this one, so I have to skip 15, that, but 16. That's great.
Nothing.
What's that? Yeah, I know.
15,
I don't know what
16.
happened to my notes there. But what I will say, though, is that Genoa, as good as they had been doing under De Rossi, they have lost back-to-back games and are starting to fall a bit. But I don't know if that matters too much, even on the road, because Cremonese have been absolutely terrible. Vardy's out of form. They can't score goals. They can't get a point. So, yeah, I think Genoa can win it pretty easily.
And then Sunday continues with Torino looking to make it 3 straight without a loss as they take on the tumbling Bologna.
With the win here, Torino would be able to catch Bologna at mid-table after their last couple of results have been positive, but a loss in this game would mean that Bologna would have lost 5 straight matches. This one could be sneaky good with a lot on the line, and Torino, they have some good attacking quality whenever they're on it. We just haven't seen them be on it in a while, so let's see. This one could be good.
And then Sunday ends with your other No Business Soccer podcast top matchup. That was Roma and Napoli. We talked about that, obviously. So we will go on to Monday Night Football as Cagliari look to get back to their winning ways as they take on the lowly Lecce.
And they failed their test, Cagliari that is, to show us if they were real good or just in a good run of form by losing 2-0 to Roma on the road. But at home against Lecce shouldn't be too much of a test for them. If they win, it would make 4 wins in 5, and they would move on like nothing ever happened at the Stadio Olimpico.
And those are your matches for Serie A Matchday 25. Let's go ahead and get a refresher of the table. On top, you will see the Milan's Inter number 1. They have 58 points. They are 8 points clear of the number 2's AC Milan. They have 50 points. Number 3 is Napoli with 49 points, and then Juve round out our top 4 with 46 points, and then tickling our top 4 is Roma there with 46 points as well, behind Juve on goal differential. At the bottom of the table, you'll see our boys in purple, Fiorentina. They are in the relegation zone. They're in the 18th space with 18 points. They are followed by 19 Pisa and 20 Hellas Verona, who both have 15 points, fighting for the bottom of the table, it seems like. And their fate's probably sealed, but we're still pulling for our boys in purple.
Yeah, that's it's hard to say because I'm looking at the table and like, if I think that Verona and Pisa have no chance of making it out, Fiorentina just have 3 points more than them. So that's not good. There's still a ton of games to play. I think they'll end up getting out, but not fun to see them down there. Tell you that much.
My boys.
I know.
Not my boys.
Well, I think that is it for the Serie A. Before we move on, a little update on our little Bon Hiver conversation. To be Danny P says extra pretentious if you want to be. Bon Hiver means with the river in French. So there you go. Bon Hiver. So I'm going to add that next time. Like, yeah, it's not Bon Iver, you stupid, arrogant American. It's Bon Hiver, and it means with the river.
The river. Oh my God.
Did I just piss you off?
Just hearing that. Yeah, you pissed me off just hearing that.
It pissed me off just hearing it. So let's move on then. Let's go to Germany.
Let's do it to Bundesliga.
And the Prem is the only one that decided to do their cup matches on the weekend. So there was DFB Pokal action midweek, and there was the Black Forest boys getting past Hertha Berlin on penalties, and then Bayern beating Leipzig 2-0, which means, Vic, that Bayern have now beat Leipzig a combined 13-1 across 3 matches this season. They have absolutely destroyed them. They're like, Leipzig's just done. They're just like, stop. Can we stop playing Bayern, please? And also, so with Freiburg and Bayern moving on, they will meet Stuttgart and Leverkusen in the semis. The draw is not set yet for the DFB Pokal. That will be on this Sunday, February 15th. So we'll know who is up. But it is Freiburg, Bayern, Stuttgart, and Leverkusen in the semis. So we're in for a treat with the DFB Pokal final coming up just around the corner. Okay, that's it. Let's jump in.
Okay, let's do it. Let's jump into Bundesliga Matchday 22. And of course, we're going to start with your No Business Soccer podcast, top matches and headlines for Bundesliga Matchday 22. And your first match is the one that kicks off the match day on Friday, and it's the best of the rest, Borussia Dortmund welcoming a surging Mainz.
Oddly enough, this is two of the most informed teams in the Bundesliga going head-to-head, even though we have Dortmund in second and Mainz in 14th, all the way down in 14th. In Mainz's run of 4 wins in 5, they have beaten Leipzig and an informed Augsburg. But you'd have to say that Dortmund will be the biggest test they faced in this recent run. But even though Dortmund have 5 straight wins, they've been fairly, unconvincing in all of them. They found ways to win, but most of the time it's the hard way. And with Mainz in such good shape at the moment, you would think that if Mainz could find themselves a couple of goals up, what would happen? Can Dortmund climb themselves out of a hole? I think the Mutual will probably go for a Dortmund win because it would keep the title race interesting. But Mainz have done so much work this past month to get themselves out of the bottom of the Bundesliga table. So they will not want to lose this one. And if they do, I mean, they could possibly be right back in that relegation battle. And because of that, I think I'm going for Mainz. I think I have to go for here. I don't know. I just haven't been convinced by Dortmund lately.
We will see. And your second match is your Can It Be number 3s looking to get back to the winning ways as they welcome a tough yet inconsistent Freiburg.
Freiburg looked promising for a while, but in their last 5 games, they've only won twice and are now 6 points behind Leverkusen in 6th. There's still a chance they can get into Europe, but Hoffenheim, despite the bad showing against Bayern on the road, still have Champions League aspirations. It's not an easy game by any means for the Hoff, but if they were able to beat a decent Freiburg side, they would be right back on track. This one should be fun.
And those are your top matches and headlines for Bundesliga Matchday 22. Let's go ahead and jump into the rest of the match day. And it starts, like I said, on Friday with your No Business Soccer podcast top match. That was Borussia Dortmund and Mainz we already talked about. So we move on to Saturday as Hamburg welcome an Union Berlin side desperate for a win.
Listen, I have to stop right there because now Danny P is saying it's not with the river, it's good winter. So I don't know what's going on. We don't speak French here. Maybe so if you speak French, maybe you watch Liga. Let us know what bon hiver means because I don't trust Danny P anymore. He's just talking, making me sound like an idiot on camera. I don't need any help doing that, Vic. Okay. Hamburg and Union Berlin. Let's go. Hamburg are right in the thick of the congested mid-table in the Bundesliga and would love to get one over on Union Berlin to start creeping up past mid-table. And Union haven't been great, so it's a good chance that they can get something from this game. In Hamburg, but there's 6 draws in 10 combined matches for these two, Vic. So the odds are those will probably be a draw. I mean, the numbers say.
Yeah. And Saturday continues with one of my favorite matches to announce.
You see, I spelled it out.
As Eintracht Frankfurt welcome Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Oh, yeah. See, I usually have all the shorthands, but not for this one. I knew my boy. And here's a great chance for Riera to finally get Frankfurt a win as they've been winless in their last 9 games in all competitions. Gladbach is just kind of meh right now and they haven't found themselves and they haven't won for themselves in a while either. But what I saw from Frankfurt was encouraging, and I think it's a win for the home side. And, I should have worn my Eintracht Frankfurt shirt, but anyway, I think this is where they get the win.
And next up is a relegation-threatened Werder Bremen side welcoming the current kings of the league, Bayern.
I think it's Bayern's dropping point days are over. I said that weird, but you get what I'm trying to say. I think their days of dropping points in the Bundesliga are over. And beating up on the 10 men of Hoffenheim, you saw the grit and the spirit they had, the fight. They're ready to go. And I don't even know if I can say go and tear up the league again because I don't think they've really stopped. They just had a couple of bumps in the road. But either way, Bremen sacked their manager. They haven't won in a while. This one's pretty straightforward for me.
And your next match was your other No Business Soccer podcast top match. That was Hoffenheim and Freiburg. We already talked about that. So we soldier on to St. Pauli, looking to keep the winning ways going as they head to Bayer Leverkusen.
There's light at the end of the tunnel for St. Pauli after their shocking win over Stuttgart last time out. And with Bremen in a tough matchup of their own, there's a good chance that if they were able to nick a point off of Leverkusen, they could be within a point of Bremen in 16th. And again, that light at the end of the tunnel is getting a little brighter and brighter every match day. Well, I don't want to say every match day, but at least after last match day.
Yeah, let's just hope it's not a train. But next is our cute little mascot, Cologne, looking to play spoilers on the road as they take on Stuttgart.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. Like, yeah, why is it light at the end of the tunnel? If it's a train tunnel, then they're gonna die. They're gonna get splattered.
Usually it's like you're leaving the tunnel, like you're finally out of it.
Yeah,
it's usually light. But yeah,
unless there's a train though. You're right. That was good. That was a good point there. I like that. All right. You just caught me off guard. Anyway, Stuttgart, Köln, or as we call this, the Q2 matchup replay. Stuttgart are in much better form at the moment, and while Köln are scrappy, they just haven't been able to get anything from the bigger sides in the Bundesliga, with losses to Dortmund, Leipzig, Freiburg, Bayern, Frankfurt, Leverkusen, and Stuttgart earlier this season. So everything tells me that Köln can pick up points on anybody under, 7, 8 in the table, but no one else. So if that's true, then Stuttgart get a win here. But the little goats that could, maybe they can get a point. I don't know. I'm conflicted on this one because I kind of like both teams.
True,
but
I totally forgot. It was we
saw this.
Q2.
Yeah,
I forgot. Yeah. That's when Indo was
freezing cold.
My boy Indo was hurt.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. We saw Indo. That's right.
We saw Indo there. Yeah.
And then he got hurt. My bad.
Yeah, he just got hurt. Anyway, we'll change the subject. We then go on to Sunday as Augsburg gets some good fortune as they pull bottom of the table, Heidenheim.
Double H are almost assuredly going down at the end of the season. So it really comes down to if Augsburg can take care of business and get 3 points to start digging themselves out of trouble again. They've done well in the past month or so, but the loss to Mainz could really set them back if they don't rebound quickly.
And our match day 22 ends with Leipzig looking to keep the dub train going as they welcome Wolfsburg.
Leipzig get a chance to start stringing some wins together with the 3 straight lost Wolves coming to town. And even with the up and down results that Leipzig have had themselves, you'd expect that they can get 3 points here.
And that is it. That is your match day 22 for Bundesliga. Let's take a refresher of the table. Don't need much of a refresher on top because, of course, Bayern Munich are your reigning defending champions with 54 points. They are 6 points clear of number 2, Borussia Dortmund, with 48 points. The Hoffenheimer are Can It Be number 3s. They have 42 points, another 6 points behind number 2. And then Leipzig round out our top 4. They have 39 points. Followed right behind is Stuttgart, who also have 39 points. Stuttgart are tickling the top 4 in the number 5 spot. Of course, behind Leipzig on goal differential. And then we take a look at the bottom of the table. You'll see Werder Bremen in the 16th spot. They are in that relegation playoff zone. They have 19 points. They are followed by St. Pauli looking to fight out of relegation. They have 17 points in the 17th spot. And then Heidenheim, a full 4 points clear of them. A solid foundation for a Bundesliga table. They are in the bottom spot with 13 points on a 3-game losing streak, doing their best to stay there. So, yeah, it's going to be...
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. It's funny how when you look at the table, though, Vic, you'll see from essentially 8 down is just a bunch of red and gray. And then you see Mainz down there all the way in 14th with all that green. To be fair, Augsburg has a couple of wins too. But either way, Mainz just tearing it up. It'd be something if they can get a point from Dortmund. And if they win, holy shit, I'm excited for that one. And it's on Friday. It's tomorrow, right? Is that what we just said? Yeah, tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Today, if you're watching this, oh man, I'm excited for that one. It's gonna be a good time. Okay, so let's do this, Vic. Let's and if anything else on Bundesliga, I guess I might have cut you off there.
No, all good.
Okay, let's do it then. Let's keep the train rolling. Let's go to Spain.
Let's do it to La Liga. I forgot to mention it. I trimmed it a little bit. It's a little.
Why? I feel like you're just doing this to piss us off now.
I'm not. I trimmed it a little bit. It was way longer.
Okay, but why just bite it? Just bite it off.
I did bite it.
Don't do it on camera. That's even grosser. Grosser? Is that a word? Like, you just made me make up a word.
more gross.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, my goodness, that damn nail. You're just going to keep it forever. No, you don't. No,
I like it.
All right. Well, let's get to some news and notes because I like those. That didn't work as well as I thought from around La Liga. And last but not least, we got some Copa del Rey action. Copa del Rey action. I said that way too white. Had to like put some Spanish accent into there. Anyway, it was Real Sociedad taking care of Athletic Club in a Basque derby, 1-0. And it was at San Mamés as well. And Atletico Madrid today beating Barca 4-0 with 4 first-half goals. Now, these semis are 2 legs, so it's not like these were the end-all, be-alls, but especially for Barca, especially for Athletic Club, they get another chance to change the deficit on the road. Just 1-0. But you look at Barca, 4-0. That's crazy. Atleti, I don't even know the last time Atleti scored 4 goals. Ademola Lookman, by the way, scoring a couple. I think the first one might be an own goal, but he was the one who hit it in. And then he gets another one. Ademola Lookman looking good, man. Yeah, okay. All right.
Not bad.
Let's jump into the match day.
Let's do it. And we will start with your No Business Soccer podcast. Top matches and headlines for La Liga Match Day 24. And your top match is a royal battle as Real Madrid. I don't know why I said it like that. Real Madrid welcome the surging Real Sociedad.
It's another huge test for Real Sociedad and Rino Matarazzo. I don't know if he would say it like Rino, but I guess since he's in Spain, he's going to say it like that now. Surely he can't keep up this unbeaten record. I mean, surely. And especially not against Los Blancos at the Bernabeu, Vic. But people said that against Atleti, and they said that against Barca, and then he gets it done. And then he draws with Athletic Club in the Basque Derby at San Mamés nonetheless, and just beat them again, like I mentioned, in the first leg of the semis, the Copa del Rey, King's Cup. And man, every time you look, he's passing a test that people probably think that he's not going to. And I say he, but you get what I'm saying. Real Sociedad. The guy's just turning out to be a good manager. This is not a new manager bump anymore. And despite all the craziness surrounding Real Madrid and their fans booing the team and waving white towels and flags all over the place, which is a bad thing in Spain, not just because they're white. They just keep finding ways to win, and they win despite not playing particularly well. And not to say that Madrid will have to play a perfect game to beat La Real, but the results show us that if Madrid are off even just a little bit, Real Sociedad can take advantage. And what a story that would be if Matarazzo can get it done. I think a draw would even be a decent result for them, but man, a win. Vic, could you imagine the headlines?
That would be awesome. And yeah, looking forward to it. I think if they win, we get a buy one, get one free Baconators as well. So that'd be cool.
Oh man, how do you come up with stuff? You got it like written down somewhere. Look at you.
I got some more. Yeah, I got some more. It's a process, but that is your lone top matchup for La Liga Match Day 24. Let's go ahead and get into the rest of the match day, and it starts on Friday as Elche look to turn it around after 3 straight losses, but they play an Osasuna team that is on 4 straight without a loss.
At this point, all of Elche's matches are fun to watch. They just aren't really good. They aren't really that good of a team as far as winning the actual games. And Osasuna are starting to string some results together. If they can win on the road, they'd be on the cusp of slipping into those European spots. And at this point, I'm kind of rooting for that because they've I can't remember exactly when's the last time they've been, but the past couple of seasons they've been right on the edge, tickling the European spots, and they haven't gotten in. Maybe this is the year.
We will see. We then move on to Saturday, and it's a race for 6th as Celta Vigo look to take advantage of a tumbling Espanyol side.
It's 2 struggling table neighbors trying to stay relevant in the European conversation. But the difference is Espanyol have lost 4 straight games in La Liga and are just completely out of it right now. Celta have a good chance to pile on their misery here, and I feel like they get it done.
Next up is 2 teams fresh off a win looking to stay on track as Villarreal head to Getafe.
Getafe went from, I think it was like 16th all the way to 11th with 1 win. And it just speaks to how congested it is in that table right now. Villarreal seem to have gotten out of their slump, but with the matchup against the mid-table Getafe, I think they'll expect 3 points and to keep the train rolling.
And then Saturday continues with 2 teams in desperate need of a win. It's Sevilla welcoming Alaves.
Another table neighbors matchup sees Sevilla and Alaves trying to put some distance between themselves and Rayo in 18th. They both come in only 3 points above Rayo. So a lot is on the line as far as the relegation battle is concerned. And which just still seeing Sevilla in a relegation battle is still crazy. But either way, these teams are both in trouble and they need the 3 points.
And Saturday ended with your No Business Soccer podcast top matchup of the week. That was Real Madrid and Real Sociedad. We talked about that. So we go on to Sunday. As bottom of the table, Oviedo are still riding high after the last match day, but Athletic Club are looking to bring them back to reality.
And if there's one way to get Athletic Club back on track, it's having them play 19th and 20th in back-to-back weeks. There should be no reason why Athletic Club can't get 3 points here from an Oviedo side that are completely, well, I don't want to say completely out of it, but basically out of it.
And then Sunday continues with Atleti trying to right the ship as they get Rayo Vallecano, who have lost 3 straight.
Rayo lost 3 losses in a row. Their last match was postponed though and canceled because the pitch wasn't laid right or didn't have enough time to lay. I know I said on the podcast that it was because of rain. That's because La Liga had said that. La Liga themselves posted saying that because of the rain in Madrid, they were canceling this game. But do you know how many games were canceled? There's like 8 teams in Madrid that were playing this week in Vic. Do you know how many games were canceled because of the rain? Just this one is the answer. Yes. Hey, you got it. There you go. So there's a little bit of conspiracy tinfoil hat kind of stuff saying that, yeah, it was just because their pitch wasn't right and they're trying to avoid having to get sanctioned because essentially they could pass up 3 points. It was against Oviedo, I believe it was. And Oviedo have submitted a thing saying, hey, it wasn't because of the weather. It was because your pitch wasn't right. And if that is the case and they didn't have a backup plan, then they can file for La Liga to not to scrap rescheduling it and hand them 3 points, which Oviedo would absolutely love. So anyway, just had to clarify that because, got to talk about it and stuff. But either way, Atletico Madrid are going out there if their pitch is right. And if they are, if they blew out Barca 4-0, maybe they have a emotional drain kind of slip up here, but I don't think so.
And next up is a bottom 4 clash as number 19 Levante welcome number 17 Valencia.
It's the Derby del Turia or Valencia Derby. It's just like the last time. Both clubs are fighting relegation. Valencia had a little run of form, but have since lost 2 straight heading into this one. Levante need a win and would love to get this 6-pointer over the line against their arch rivals. Hell, they have to win this if they're going to stay up. This one has a little bit of juice because of that exact reason. Both teams needing to stay up, needing to win, and they don't like each other.
And Sunday ends with 2 teams just looking for some sort of consistency as Real Betis head to Mallorca.
Mallorca have been inconsistent with their results, but they've lost one. They've lost one, and then lost. So technically this one should be a win, Vic, if the pattern holds. But Betis have won back-to-back games and are starting to get in a good run of form of their own. I think because, the whole Steve Nash is a Spurs fan and I'm a Spurs fan and he owns part of Mallorca. I'm kind of going for them. It's like my pet project, but either way, I don't think they win this one. Sorry. All that to say.
And match day 24 ends with Monday night football, and it's your reigning, defending La Liga champions Barcelona heading to mid-table Girona.
Girona's good run of form and good run of lower table opponents has ended as they now have Barcelona at home to deal with. It just seemed like 3 weeks ago that Girona would be battling for a European spot, and now they're 1 result away from being right back in the thick of the relegation battle. Also, Barcelona getting their ass kicked 4-0, probably not going to be a good sign for Girona, but we'll see. I expect Barcelona to win, but I expected them to beat Atleti too, so let's see what happens.
And that'll do it for your matches on La Liga match day 24. Let's go ahead and take a refresher of the table. And your number ones are still going to be Barcelona. Barcelona have 58 points. They are just 1 point ahead of Real Madrid, who have 57 points in the number 2 spot, getting kind of spicy up there in those top 2 spots.
Ooh, spicy.
And in the number 3 spot is Atletico Madrid. They have 45 points. They're followed by Villarreal, who also have 45 points, rounding out our top 4. And then tickling our top 4 is Real Betis. They have 38 points, clear 7 points behind them. But yeah, they take up your Europa League spot. And if you look at the bottom of the table, you'll see Rayo Vallecano. They have 22 points in the 18th spot. They would be the first team relegated if the season ended today. We have Levante in the 19th spot with 18 points. And then Real Oviedo, a solid foundation for La Liga. They have 16 points, fresh off a win, trying to keep that high going. And let's see if they can do so.
Yeah, man, look at that. Levante 19th, Valencia 17th. That is a big matchup. I mean, if you want to see a derby, you want them to be close to each other. This isn't like a top of the table clash by any means, but the juice is juicier because of it. How about that? Okay, well, we do have some news on the Premier League front, Vic. So before we get out of here, let's go to England.
Let's do it to the Prem.
So because, it's okay. Because we had a midweek matchup, we have some news and notes plus a midweek madness to recap. So just to go over some of the scores from the Prem, Newcastle beat Spurs 2-1, and it cost them a lot. Chelsea draw with Leeds 2-2. Everton lose to Bournemouth 2-1. West Ham draw with Manchester United, which is the big one because the dude didn't get his hair cut. Crazy stuff. Nottingham Forest drew with Wolves 0-0. Villa beat Brighton 1-0. We had Burnley getting a first win in a while. City dominating Fulham 3-1. Liverpool actually beating Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. It was the first time that they lost this season at home in the Stadium of Light. So good stuff. Good on you, mate. Right. And then Brentford drawing with Arsenal as Man City gets a 3-0 win. Oh, I mean, come on. That's just insane stuff, Vic, because where does that leave the table? 4 points.
Yeah, 4 points. We can bring up the table. I did update the table. I didn't do the slide. So we can bring up the table if you want. You can see Arsenal actually up there. They're now only 4 points clear of Man City, who are in the number 2 spot. They have 53 points. Aston Villa have 50 points in the number 3 spot. Did I say 2? Yeah, 3 spot. Followed by Manchester United, who did not get the 5 in a row, and all eyes were on them. And heartbreak. And
I saw so many tweets. I saw Betis tweeted, Borussia Dortmund tweeted. Like, there's so many teams that were like, give this guy a haircut already, and then he didn't. And did you see that the West Ham players went and got faded after the game? There's pictures of them getting all faded up. Oh, that's so petty and so awesome.
Yeah, they posted that. They posted that them getting haircuts and everything.
Yeah.
Although Man U, they have a chance to do it in the next 5. They play some lower table teams. I think their toughest test, believe it or not, Danny P, is Everton. I think they play Everton next. And other than that, I think the other 4 are like pretty low.
If Everton are the toughest test, then they have some. I'm just kidding. I have no place to talk because Vic. Well, I'll let you finish the table. Oh God.
We'll go ahead to tickling the top 4 is Chelsea. They have 44 points, and Liverpool on the outside looking in with 42 points. We'll take a look at the bottom of the table, and we're going to start with West Ham. They're in the 18th spot, fresh off of that draw. Felt like a win, but fresh off of that draw, they have 24 points. They're followed by Burnley with 18 points, coming off of a win. And then Wolverhampton Wanderers, they did get a draw. They're getting closer to double digits, but still have not broke it. They have 9 measly points, a solid foundation for the Prem. And it looked 2 spots above relegation. Who's that?
All right. Hey, Leeds or Nottingham Forest, something like that. And that brings me to the news and notes from around the Prem, because after the loss to Newcastle, who Newcastle hadn't won in a while, Spurs, they sacked Thomas Frank. So they decided to do it. What is this? It's February 12th. So like a week, 2 weeks after the freaking window closes, if you knew, it made me so mad. If you knew that he wasn't going to be the manager for long term, because he only had 2 more losses since that window closed, then why would you not sack him before so that you can bring someone in and give them a chance to get some players that they wanted? It just makes no sense. And it is not looking like a good time to be at Spurs. It's also not looking like it's going to be a good time for Forest, who 24 hours later, not even, they sacked Sean Dyche, who is their third manager to be sacked this season after Nuno Espirito Santo, Ange Postecoglou, and then now Sean Dyche. So they bring in Vitor Pereira, who was the Wolves coach, who was sacked earlier by Wolves this season. I mean, come on. What are we doing? So if anything, like Spurs have to stay up because of for it. I mean, it's just insane how bad it is. But Vic, I'm telling you right now, listen, I know how bad it looks. I know how stupid it looks, but Spurs, mark my words, we will win the league next year. 100% top of the league, winning it by a mile. I mean, we'll have so many more points in the second team because it'll be us, it'll be West Ham, and it'll be Wrexham that are getting promoted from the championship because we're winning the championship next year, baby. All right? We got this. Let's go.
Yeah, that's true. I thought you were starting to sound like a Cowboys fan. You're like, "Oh, we're winning next year. We're going to the Super Bowl."
We're winning a league. It's just not the Prem.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. It's so dumb. All right. I think we've talked enough about this, even though we didn't even talk that much about it. Anything else, Vic? Anything else about Liverpool? Some team that's doing something good right now?
No. Basically, we got to win, but we still need a handful of things to happen before anything happy. We feel anything happy.
Well, we have like 10 days until the next Premier League match, so we're good. We can stop talking about them for a bit. It is cool that the title race is only 4 points away now. I mean, there's a chance that Arsenal don't win it, and that would be absolutely insane. It makes me very happy. As Spurs are going down, and and then Arsenal didn't win the league. Like that's just a good. Thank you for popping that.
They're bottling the league.
All right, DJ, play our music. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Vic, take us home.
Again, thank you for hanging out with us and talking about some European football on this morning, evening, noon, whatever time you're listening. Be sure to like and subscribe on all of our social medias. Everything is at No Business Soccer Podcast, except for TikTok, except for Twitter, because those names are too damn long. That's at No Biz Soc Pod. Everyone enjoy the football this weekend, and cheers.
Peace.